So big shout out to Ubisoft for sponsoring this video. As you see, we are over on The Division 2. Now I played the first one when it came out and I really enjoyed it. I did not have time to get around to the beta for this, but I know some of you guys played it. But now we are on the full version of the game. And when you start out, you get to customize your character. You can pick a male or a female. Then once you select that, you go in and pick all kinds of stuff to make your character unique and true to how you want them to be. Anything from eye color, hairstyle, hair color, t-shirt, the pants you wear, even the boots. So I'm gonna show you some of this stuff right now while I explain a little backstory about The Division 2. Now, we are in Washington, D.C., but it's like transformed, all right? So there's virus, storms, flooding, all kinds of chaos have transformed Washington, D.C. Explore a living, open world full of diverse environments, from flooded urban streets to historic sites and landmarks. So you'll see the White House in the game. That is actually one of the safe havens. You'll see the Washington Monument. It is like you are really in Washington, D.C. During one of the hottest summers in history, the streets have been overrun with enemy factions, each with its own agenda and each vying for control of Washington, D.C. It will be up to you to liberate the city and protect what remains of society. So that is our mission in this game. One of the main enemy factions I have come across so far early game are known as the Hyenas. They have been going around harassing civilians and all that, and one thing that we are trying to do is prevent that from happening. So as you leave one of the safe havens, that's when things start getting crazy, and me and my homeboy Madamus are doing that right now. We're gonna complete one of the side missions. There are so many different missions in this game, and that's one of the things that the Division 2 wanted to focus on, was bringing variety to the game. Not only completing the main missions, but having the ability to do side missions, or you can just roam the streets. You can go to dark zones, all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna get into some of that later. Those are some civilians. They are good guys. They are not gunning for us. They are not the Hyenas, so we don't have to worry about them. But we can also get them to help us out in a fight, which is also a cool thing about this game. So there's some enemies right here. So of course I'm naturally gonna take cover and make sure that I am safe before I start taking fire. That is one thing you want to remember when you're playing the Division 2, is always use the cover to your advantage. As you see your enemies do it, so you want to make sure that you do too. And you can easily move around the map. As you see, it's saying that I can hold A to basically go to another spot, which is also good. So I have one of my boys running with me, Madamus, big shout out to him, and we were going in doing this side mission like I was saying. So we had to come over to this apartment complex and basically get these enemies out of here. So the world is very dynamic over here on the Division 2. As you see, we are doing this mission when it is dark. Now that might play a big factor in some of the missions that you want to complete. I believe it will be a lot easier to do this one when it was light, just because it is harder to see where everyone is. But hey, that's the challenge that you want to face in this game. You really want to pay attention to the recommended level of each mission. Like this one is level 3, I believe, in difficulty, and I am a level 3. So there's gonna be enemies around my skill level. You don't wanna be like a level 5 and go play a level 20 mission. Things will not work out too well unless you're a master at the game. So like I was saying about the dynamic living world, the civilians and enemy factions are constantly striving to survive. So you'll be seeing people going out looking for food, medicine, ammunition, anything they can get their hands on to survive. As I've been playing this game, roaming around the streets, I've seen plenty of civilians walking around with weapons, looking for ammunition, searching for food, and they really do get into fights with enemy factions, which is really, really crazy. And you'll see these encounters between them, friendly factions, civilians, ultimately us as an agent, which creates a dynamic living world full of surprises. So you see I also have this drone. That is one of the skills that I chose. It is a huge distraction for the enemies, and it takes away a good bit of damage, as you see. But they finally ended up shooting it down. But I'm able to use that every now and then to help out with these firefights. It has really come in handy, especially when I'm facing some higher ranked enemies, which you'll see a few here. They actually have like purple armor, gold armor. Those are the ones that you want to stay away from. There's a gold armor enemy. He's running around, and I've noticed those enemies are a lot smarter than the typical ones that you face in every mission or even on the street. So you want to look out for those dudes. You want to make sure that you have the right equipment. As you see, I am low, so I'm coming back here to heal myself. Well, I was trying to, but I think I am completely out of heals. So when we were going through this mission, it started getting harder and harder. You know, you're running out of loot, you're running out of ammo, you're running out of health. But I think that's the good thing about having a teammate on your side. So you want to try to make sure that you run with a squad, and we finally take down that gold enemy. But there's still a couple more dudes up there at the top. After we finish them off, we should be good to go. So the Division 2, make sure you check it out. I will bring you some more gameplay later on. Be on the lookout for that. We complete that mission finally. That nasty. Peace.